Oh my God, I cannot believe we've done it. Maybe our biggest guest ever in this short amount of time that our podcast has been on. She's usually doing galas and dinners and whatnot, but we got her, Josie Dye.
Welcome to the show.
That was for the sarcasm that you just gave, because I know the sarcasm is you're not your biggest guest because I'm with you every goddamn day. So yeah, I know. I guess you guys just couldn't get a guest today, so I'm here. Hi.
Realistically, you could be our biggest guest.
No, I'm not.
It's not saying that you're big. It's saying who we get is small.
Yeah, so don't take it as a compliment. Don't take it as a compliment.
That was a backhanded compliment.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
No offense to Mitch or Raina or Frankie.
The best part before all of this was that you guys said, "Oh, did you plan anything?" No, I didn't plan anything. No, it's just Josie. I didn't. So this is going to be a great pod. Great.
Really peeling back the layers of this podcast where you show everybody that listens, all 30 people, that we really go into this. I mean, sometimes when we have a guest, we do some investigative journalism where like I will talk to somebody in their life and I'll get some answers or some questions from them. I'll straight up tell you I did not do that.
We probably should have. We probably easily could have. It's just been, we've been busy because Brent has been on the morning show this week.
Oh, yeah, because we've been doing the morning show. Yeah. No, how's it been, Brent? Do you want me to just take, no, I'm joking.
Yeah,
Can we take over? How's it been on the morning show this week, Brent?
This morning was early. I used to think Carlin was such a little baby for complaining that like, oh, my Edmonton Oilers games start at 10 p.m. I never get to watch it. But a Leaf game starting at 7 to 7:30 or 7 and 7:30 are two wildly different things.
Yeah.
Like that extra half hour bones you. Huge. Yeah.
My friend asked me to have a beer in the park on a Monday, and I was like, I'm getting too old to be drinking in a park on a Monday. It just ruins your entire week. I did not want to do it.
It's tonight that I usually stay up late. This is the only night, like Thursday night, I can stay up late, but every other night I'm in bed by 9. And then sometimes I'll just look at the clock until 9:30 or 10. And then I wake up 3 times with kids. So
yeah. I can't imagine it. Honestly, like I live by myself for the most part, like my girlfriend's over sometimes. But having responsibilities in the middle of the night when you have to get up at the hours that you guys have been getting up is wild. Like and Carlin's going to go, yeah, and I got a dog. But even, I will say, even taking out the dog, like it would be fucking wild. I'd be so annoyed.
Really butthurt by the fact that I have a dog this week.
It's just the only thing you talk about now.
Brent, do you not have a dog? No? Mm-mm. Oh, I thought you had an animal. Is it a cat?
I got a cat, yeah. He'll probably make an appearance in the podcast by running around and knocking something over.
Also, when did I ever bring up the fact that I have a dog? You're making me sound like I talk about having a dog all the time. Name one story that involved my dog that I have talked to you about this week.
By the way, I'm so glad I came on the Carlin and Brent podcast to listen to you two bitch about your dog. I could do this in the morning show. I don't need to do it here.
Name one fucking time I've ever talked about dogs. Josie's just sitting here. We have a guest for virtually no reason.
I'm sorry, Josie. Go ahead. Let's hear your interesting stories. Go ahead,
You're supposed to ask me a question. You're supposed to ask me a question.
Tell us your interesting stories. We would love to hear
I don't have one. You have to actually get it out of me. Like you have to say, so Josie, tell us about that time, because of all the research you did.
I will say Josie pulls out a story usually, like I would say, because I haven't been like filling in on a morning show too long, and I haven't done a morning show with you guys very many times. Josie per day pulls out one story that kind of blows my mind, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like she has so many just like yeah, I'm sure Carlin's heard them, but like they're all new to me, and it is wild. Like I didn't know that you dated a former Toronto Maple Leaf. I didn't know that you lived at the Royal York for a little bit. Shit like that. I was like, pardon me?
I wonder if you will watch this because we haven't talked in a long time. Anyway,
maybe if we promote it like that, if Josie tells the story about a steamy love affair with What's his name and how did it happen, Josie? Now that you
We're
got
not
us on
talking
the
about that on
topic
this
of having to
So
talk about
before
interesting
the
stories.
podcast, where you were supposed to send me a list of things I did not want to talk about, and that would have been one of them. No, like ex-boyfriends or stories like that. But yeah.
When have you ever had a problem talking about ex-boyfriends?
I'm a guest
We've called
now.
your ex-boyfriends before.
We have. Yeah. No, I don't care. Nathan Parrott is his name, and he was a wonderful guy.
Built to fucking
a fourth liner.
Out of you.
He was a wonderful guy.
Josie dated a fourth liner.
He was awesome. I met him through my old radio station, and then from him, I met my. This is all weird. Let's not talk about this anymore.
How did he ask you out? How did it happen?
I don't remember. He was on the radio a lot with somebody else that I worked with, and so he used to come into the station a lot. And I don't remember actually. I don't remember our first kiss. I don't remember the first time he asked me out. I know. We were at an event at the Hard Rock Cafe. So you know that one at the corner, right at like Yonge and Dundas? Does that still exist? I don't even know if it still exists.
No, it's a Shoppers Drug Mart now.
Okay, we were at an event there.
Is it actually?
And
everything turns into a fucking Shoppers Drug Mart or something.
Yeah. And I don't know, we just ended up hitting it off really well, like just talking the whole time because it was like a radio event and he didn't want to be there. And so we just talked a lot. And then he walked me home. I remember that he walked me home. And I think he just asked me out for dinner after that. Yeah, he asked me out for dinner and then that's how it started. It was nothing, like memorable.
It's a love story, baby. Just say yes.
Can we talk about something other than my sex life?
For sure.
One more question.
But we are focusing on it for the rest of this little segment.
My career and where I've gone to and what I want to accomplish in 5 years. That is way more exciting.
Do you think this is a podcast where we talk about your radio career?
Yeah, it is. It's supposed to be like, what do you want to accomplish? Where do you want to go with your life? That's what you're supposed to talk about.
No, that's like broadcast dialogue. Stuff.
Yeah. We're not.
I should have asked you what this podcast was about before I stepped into the room.
Well, you said yourself that we didn't know what it was about going into it, so we're figuring it out live, baby.
That's true.
Josie, have you ever been on a podcast where they don't ask you about O Canada?
Yeah, some people don't know about it. Do you know that? Some people actually don't know.
There's no one that doesn't know.
No, there's
about
a lot of people.
Every time I ever listen to a podcast, you always tell me you're on a podcast, and I'll listen.
You
to
do?
it because I know
so
you,
sweet.
and I'm interested.
That's sweet.
Yeah, nice. I've listened to them all, and every single time they ask you about O Canada.
I know.
And I'm like, that's probably going to be annoying, so I'm not going to bring it up.
What's crazy is I was going to bring it up. Carlin's heard this story so many times, but
you just brought it up, but okay.
I hadn't got to the bottom of the story. I feel like I know it though because I've seen the video.
Okay, I'll do it in 30 seconds.
No, you don't have to.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Brent wants to hear it.
What's Brent's question about it?
Ask me a question about it and I'll answer.
No, he has a question, I think.
Oh, okay.
I do?
I think so.
About this.
About O Canada?
Because I don't.
Oh, I thought you did. I thought you said you wanted to get to the bottom of it. Oh, you were.
No. I mean, like I would have heard the whole story, but I feel like I know the gist of it, and that's Josie fucked up O Canada in front of a lot of people, and then I've seen the YouTube video.
In front of 37,000 people is what I say, because I don't know if it was a playoff lacrosse game. Maybe not that many. I don't know.
37,000 inside the Scotiabank Arena. I mean, it only holds 18. Yeah. And a Toronto Rock game selling out.
Remember when someone called me out on that? It was completely sold out. I will say that. It was completely sold out. So, and it was for Toronto Rock, and I did it for
just say in front of all the people watching on TV too.
I gotta fix that. There was it wasn't on TV.
Oh, thank God.
So it wasn't on TV.
So it definitely wasn't 37,000.
No, it wasn't 37. But then it was put on the internet after, and 100,000 people watched it on the YouTube video. So I fucked it up with more than that. But yeah, I did it for a TV show. They had asked me like 8,000 things to do for like, I had this whole segment on the show, and it was my bucket list. And one of them they asked me to do was fly in a plane. And I was like, I'm not doing that. And I kept on saying no. So finally I had to say yes to something. And I said yes to Singing O Canada, but I was actually incredibly busy. Like I was doing a radio show across Canada at the time. I was doing my show and I was hosting this TV show. I was the busiest I've ever been. So I'll say that. So
that's
anyway,
why it was so bad.
So I don't remember the lyrics to "Oh Canada." I'm fucking busy. I'm remembering other shit.
You guys don't understand what it is like to stand there. So I knew the lyrics.
I could never.
Obviously, I did it I sang it every day in my entire life. But I refused to ever sing it again, so I won't sing it now. But you know, I practiced. It was fine. Nobody was in the stadium. And then when everyone came in, they're like, "Please welcome Josie Dye." And as soon as I said, "Oh," it honestly bounced back in my face. The acoustics were unreal, and I lost it. I could not. When you're in that moment and you are like, it's a train wreck, there's no way to recover. I'm actually pretty proud of myself that I actually did recover. Like I sang that whole song after I fucked up. Try doing that. Or what else would you do? Cry? Like what else do you do?
Yeah, you laughed it off. Like you really played it like you were having a good time and didn't give a shit. Like it rolled off your back. It was pretty impressive.
Except for at home when I cried in my
you're not going to to do that in front of 30,000 people.
37,000. I didn't want to even bring it up. 100. Yeah, I didn't even want to bring it up, but I'll share my my story about it then, because I don't want to. I'm not trying to sound too cool for school. When I was told I was gonna do a show with you,
Carlin. Let's hear how cool you are.
I had. No, I'm not.
I'm sure that video was passed around Indie like all over the place.
Oh. No, honestly. So I grew up in Edmonton, Alberta. So I was not familiar with radio in Toronto when I got a job here. And when I started at Indie88, I kind of you started a new radio station. You want to focus on the radio station. So everything I was listening to was Indie88 and whatnot. And I wasn't super familiar with who you were until they told me that I was going to be doing a show with you. So I Googled Josie Dye, and that's the first thing that came up. And I was like, oh my God.
Guess what, dude? That's the host.
You know, it's funny. I keep attempting to do something bigger, but it seems like I'm stuck with podcasts like this. And unfortunately, I just can't beat
the same question over and over.
Beat the fucking O Canada video. Podcast. If you could give me a platform where I could do something bigger other than, this shitty podcast, maybe I would be able to figure that out.
Okay, so I think before I had that brain fart, my question was like, why did you do it? But now I know it was a bucket list segment for the TV show that you used to do.
It was a TV show. Yeah, it was a TV show I used to do. Yeah, and you know, I actually applied to TED Talk because I've done a few speaking engagements about it, and they have gone fabulous. Like I turn that around, and people watch the video first, and they're like, oh, "Holy shit!" And then I tell them what I accomplished after that video. And it is pretty incredible. Like I have some inspirational quotes that I can give you.
You know what? Don't let these moments define you.
No, you have to be ready for luck. And that was a lucky moment in my career because right after that, I had this show I had been working on, and all these people across Canada wanted interviews with me, these corny radio stations to talk about me fucking up O Canada. And then I was like, oh, do you want to play my top 20 on your radio show? And that's how it worked. So
you know what's funny, Josie?
I remember the top 20s.
Yeah.
I showed that video to my sister because it's really funny.
Great to know.
Her response was not that it was bad because you messed the lyrics, but she's like, oh, she's singing so bad too.
Holy shit. Are we just dragging her now?
No, we're not dragging Josie.
It was the acoustics. I couldn't even sing. It was everything. That video was shitty quality. And P.S., do you remember 5 minutes ago when you said you didn't want to bring this up?
I didn't want to bring it up.
Dive into it.
By the way, do I have a huge delay on my feed here? Because I can move to the other room if I do. I think I do.
I think you sound fine.
Okay. Fine. Yeah. Sorry for bringing it up, Josie. We can move on now.
I'm here to be humiliated.
I honestly did not want to bring it up. I wanted to be the one podcast that didn't bring up the stupid O Canada.
But you told us you wanted to be the one podcast. That's like saying, hey guys, I'm going to take a break on social media now. Remember? It's the same fucking thing.
Actually. I will say, like, my band played our first open mic night at the Painted Lady, and there was like, I don't know, probably 20 people there. And it was just like, you go up, you play 2 songs, you get off. It wasn't even a scheduled thing. And I hadn't played music with that project in front of anyone, or like music live in front of people, in a very long time. I remember standing beside my ex-girlfriend going, I don't fucking know the words to my song. I can't remember them. I can't remember them. I can't remember them. And freaking out. And it was like 20 people. A setting where you are allowed to lose, because everyone loses at the open mic night, audience included. So to be in this scenario where you got 20 million people at this sold out Toronto Rock game, it would I
don't have to justify it anymore either, because it's true. It's like everyone in my family told me not to do it. It's something, you know what though? Like, when am I going to have a moment like that ever again? Like, at least I can say I had a moment like that. It was pretty fucking unbelievable that I was able to have like I had that moment.
Something else that people have to understand when you're doing something like that and you don't have headphones on, like headphones where you can hear yourself, number one, and there's also feedback of things bouncing back. Like, go and do that talkback app and try and say anything. Like, you just can't do it. You sound drunk. So it's frustrating. It's not even a situation where you don't know the words to "Oh Canada." It's like there's a million things going on in your head. You're set up to lose.
I remember we were doing remotes for Indie88, and you have to take your headphones off to do remotes because of the delay on the radio station versus so a remote, if you don't know, you're live on location somewhere, you're like at a bar being like, hey, Indie88's here, come on down, we're giving away free beer for a couple hours or something like that. So you're live there, there's a bit of a delay, you have to take your headphones off, but sometimes you forget, and you're hearing yourself 2 seconds delayed. Yeah, it's impossible. Like you're saying to talk, you're like, "Hey, it's Brent, and I'm."
It's honestly really impossible. Yeah. It's impossible. Yeah. So the fact that you could sing it all is a feather in your cap.
And I am a good singer. You shouldn't be embarrassed. One day I will prove that. Yeah.
And I know
the lyrics to it.
Yeah, I didn't want to embarrass you or anything like that. So I'm sorry for bringing it up, Josie.
No problem. Thanks, Carlin.
And look at that, we're all a happy family before
tomorrow's now what are we going to talk about?
Josie, you're getting your vaccine.
Oh yeah, I'm getting my vaccine in like a couple of hours. Yeah, I'm excited. Actually, I have to change my shirt. I just realized, because I don't know if they can get up there. It should be. Do you ever
Are they allowed
think
to
about
poke
that?
through your blouse?
I don't think so. Like, I think they'd have to take my blouse off. So that would be. I'm gonna have to put a t-shirt on. I wonder, like, they should put that in the instructions. You know,
that's like,
wear a short sleeve shirt, or. You know,
that's like when you're getting a tattoo. The first time I was doing it on my shoulder, I didn't even think to do that, and I had to take my shirt off most of the way. But then I wore a muscle shirt after that.
Oh, very cool.
Show all those muscles. I'm getting it today. I'm really excited. I was saying to you earlier, I don't know if you heard it. You probably didn't hear it because I want to talk about this in the show, but for some reason you guys didn't think it was a good enough break. I was very selfless during this process because I went online to get this vaccine, and it takes honestly hours, like 4 hours of refreshing the stupid vaccination page to find an appointment. And you have to keep doing it over and over and over and over again. And then something will pop up and you grab it. And I was doing it for both my husband and I, because that's the type of person I am. And I put his name in first. And then I spent 4 hours yesterday thinking, fuck, why did I put his name in first? I'm never going to get another appointment. But then I got one after. So I was just, I was a good person yesterday.
Do you think you could pass that off as like a gift? Like, I put you in first. Like, if you didn't get your vaccine, do you think you could have passed that off as like, here's your birthday gift, I booked your vaccine instead of mine?
Yeah, because there's a chance, like yesterday, so I was watching the press conference that happened yesterday. Yesterday, we had just found out that Doug Ford said there was going to be a lockdown. And then he told everybody about how hotspots are going to be vaccinated and how teachers are going to be vaccinated. And immediately I thought, if it was hard to get through on the vaccine site today, never mind, like I can't even imagine what it'll be like tomorrow. So I thought I was screwed. So I did something for my husband. That's all. Just wanted to let you know that.
Did you mean to do it, or did you accidentally put his name in first?
No, I meant to. I thought to myself in that
same
moment.
Letter, yeah.
I thought to myself, I was like, who am I going to put in first, me or him? And I thought, you know what? I'm going to be selfless. I'm going to put his name in first. Anyway, we're only 20 minutes apart. So he's going at 120. I'm going right at 140. So today.
Do they talk about the second shot yet, or is it just like a first shot thing?
First shot. You don't even know about your second shot until you leave, and then they should give you an appointment for your second shot.
Do all vaccines require 2 shots?
Not all of them, but the ones that we have right now here in like the ones that we have that have been approved. So AstraZeneca and Moderna and Pfizer. I do believe all of them are 2 shots. I don't fucking know. I mean, maybe I should look it up, but
Josie,
I
you're
think
supposed to come
to
to this podcast with this information.
Yeah, don't you have a medical podcast that you do? You should know
about my son, by the way. And if you want to listen to it, even though you're watching this and I don't know how the two of them are at all related, Love and Special Needs. It's all about empathy and being kind to people.
Okay.
Go and check it out. Yeah.
We were going to give you a moment to shout out your podcast at the end of our podcast, but if you want to do it,
so people have to listen to this first.
Yeah, we drag everybody through the mud, and then at the end we give them the hot ones 30-second plug.
Right. Okay. Well, just in case you don't make it to the end, it's Love and Special Needs by Josie Dye, and it's a wonderful podcast. I have fun, great people on there like Liz Trinier and so many others, and we talk about
not us.
Empathy and kindness.
I got bullied as a kid. If you want to bring me on,
yeah, you know what? I actually do one whole episode on how to teach kids how to not bully. It's actually riveting. Just in case you want to know, it's riveting.
Don't burn your material on her podcast, Brent. What happened? What went on?
Oh my God, what didn't go on? I was a fat kid who wore women's jeans in a small town. Like, how do you not get made fun of? I got called every name. Every name.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it is what it is.
Feel that.
It shaped me. I had a real life-changing moment, and this sounds, I don't know. This sounds probably not like a big thing for a lot of people, but like I was an emo kid. As you know, I only listened to like screamo, hardcore emo music. And I got made fun of for the way that I dressed, which was like that. I got made fun of for the music I liked because I was in a small town and you're essentially only allowed to like country or classic rock there. And in 2019, work sent me and a listener to go see My Chemical Romance in LA for their first show in 7 years. And that was a band that religiously I got made fun of for liking because they wore makeup and you were if you like them. And I remember being like I'm obviously very excited, but in a very real way, I was emotional going to the show because it was a cool full circle moment of like, I used to get fucking made fun of for liking this band and I didn't change shit. And now my work is literally flying me to LA to see them.
You know what's interesting?
Insane. Go ahead, Carlin.
Sorry. There's definitely a delay on my microphone. Yeah.
No, that's okay.
You know what's interesting is the different experiences that we had being emo kids, because you were in a small town and I was in a big city in a school of thousands of people. So there was a whole group of emo kids. And yes, we got made fun of, but it didn't really matter as much because we were in a big school.
You had each other, right?
Like so many people. Yeah.
Yeah, I had one other person. I was in grade 9 and there was a grade 12. And there was literally, I'm not lying, 2 people that wore skinny jeans, both women's jeans as well, because they didn't make like men's skinny jeans back then. So it was just 2 of us. And we didn't become friends until like halfway into my first year of high school. So it was like a lot of taking the licks by yourself.
Kids are not inherently mean.
Sorry, Josie.
No, go ahead.
I'm going to move to the other room because I think I'm having a delay because I'm so far from
I'll have a moment with Brent while you do this, okay?
Yeah,
I'll have a moment.
You guys
okay. I'm going to turn
Can we talk about you being made fun of? Can we talk about you being okay? So here's what I think. This is a bit of my Love and Special Needs podcast coming through on yours. So it's not, kids are not inherently bad people. Like they're not. Oftentimes you hear, oh, it's how you're raised, it's how you're brought up. I don't think that's the problem. I think the problem is that kids find out at a very young age that they like getting the laugh, right? So it's like my kid Bo, he is hilarious. He loves it when people laugh at what he says. So he tells jokes and people laugh, and then he tells jokes about other people and they laugh, and that's how it all starts, right? Mm-hmm. He doesn't necessarily want to hurt that person. He just wants to get the laugh. So it's like parents have to start. with their kids when they're like 6 and be like, tell me the joke, what joke's appropriate, what joke's not. That's all it is. It's just sifting through the jokes to figure out which one works and which one doesn't, and finding out, yeah, that one is actually cruel and that one's funny because it's funny. That's all.
Yeah. It's like the difference between laughing with someone and laughing at someone.
Exactly.
And I think for me, I mean, like in a small town like that, anyone who's different is such an easy target.
Yeah.
So like when I'm wearing women's skinny purple corduroys, yeah,
you know what, you're ahead of your time.
I'm gonna get lit up by people, but also the people that I was getting lit up by, like the people that are making fun of me, they tended to be and I don't want to sound like a dickhead here or anything, but they tended to be from families that weren't super solid. So like looking back on that now, I'm not bothered by what happened, because I'm like, you have so much shit going on that I'm just like an outlet for you to vent and get your rage out. But in the moment, I was like, what the hell did I do to you?
Well,
like,
and that's an attention thing, right? They're probably not getting the attention at home, so they make fun of you and they get attention from friends. It's the same concept. It's the same telling the joke and looking for a reaction. So it's like all it is. It's just you need to find reactions other ways. It's hard to do. Like, it's really fucking difficult. They should have courses on that, like they have math and English, because it doesn't take, one assembly at school to talk about how you have to be nice to somebody. You actually have to be taught how to tell a proper joke and how to tell a joke that doesn't hurt someone else's feelings. That's what you have to be taught. It's fucking hard. It's super hard.
And those bullying assemblies, like, they need to be a little more real rather than like, one time I got made fun of and look at me now. Like, it needs to be, I think it needs to be a little more candid, because anytime they come in, it's always like, I remember like Ronald McDonald showed up in my school in full makeup, like the clown from McDonald's, and was like, I got big feet. So what? People make fun of me. And I was like, you're a fucking made up clown. Like, you're not a real person. Those shoes don't have feet all the way to the end of them. You're just choosing to wear them.
You're just making fun of a character who doesn't really exist.
Exactly. And I was like, who is connecting with this, being like, yeah, I'm like Ronald.
This is also why I love our morning show, because like there's certain things that are on the table and certain things that are off the table. Like, going in there, you're like, okay, you can make fun of me on Oh Canada. I don't give a fuck. Like, whatever. I might act like I do. I don't really care. You can make fun of me on this or this or this, but there's certain things that are off limits. And we know that about each other. And then we just don't go there. Like, and that's the thing. As long as you have, as long as you know your boundaries, then it's all fun. But it's hard. Like, empathy, honestly, in schools, that's what my podcast is all about. Love and special needs.
I think guidance counselors should actually guide students too. Like, I went to my guidance counselor and had an actual personal question. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like, and he was like, yeah, I don't know about that, but like, what college are you thinking about going to? It's like, what the fuck?
That's all they do. Well, I don't know. I feel like I was in high school so long ago, but yeah, that was definitely what they did when I was in
small
high school.
Town guidance counselor. I was like, you think you would connect with this student on a personal level a little bit more, especially when my high school only had 500 students.
Yeah, that's insane.
So we small.
That's insane. Are you back, Carlin? Is it better?
I think so. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, but your audio's worse.
How long is this podcast?
How about now?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's 2 hours long. No one told you, Josie?
No one told me. Like, do you really need to change rooms?
Yeah.
You're going to have to live stream us to your vaccine appointment.
Yeah. Oh, I am going to take my vaccine shot. Any ideas of what I should do? You told me Mariah Carey. I don't know if I want to do that in front of everybody. I also don't want to put attention on me since I'm there with the 80+-year-olds. So, and I have a right to be there, but still it's just, I might just do a little quick shot.
As someone who I know
that
is
going to be one of those
viral on TikTok, if you duet that Mariah Carey thing and hit your own high note while you're doing it, like, that's going to be your biggest chance of getting likes right now.
Is that what I'm going to have to do?
I think so.
So I have to. Okay. So how do you duet again? I do it. I go, oh, and then I just put it beside hers.
Exactly.
Fuck. All right. In front of the 80-year-olds.
Yeah.
No, or you just think of your own thing. Are you worried when you post something that there's going to be people going, hey, how come you have a vaccine when that is going to be the most annoying thing, because everyone's got to stop being so nice about it and just get the vaccine as soon as you can get it. Like yesterday, like everyone has to be getting this vaccine as soon as they can get it. I was even talking to my grandpa over Christmas, and he's like, I want frontline workers to get it. I don't need it before now. And it's just like, go and get it. Like as soon as you get it, other people can get it. So hurry up.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I've been eligible since the beginning of April, and I've tried every single day. And as soon as there is an opening, I'm there. I am in. But you know what? Like honestly, I have a kid, and and he's really susceptible. And there's been other kids who have what he has and haven't done very well with it. So I know I've got to get it, and I'm going. I don't care. I don't care what people say on Facebook. I don't need the Facebook comments. But yeah, yeah. Do we know what we're gonna say next?
No, like I don't understand why anyone would be like, fuck you for getting the vaccine when other people need it more. Because like, yeah, they are like other people admittedly probably need it more, but you can't do that in every scenario as no one gets vaccinated. It's just like, it's crazy to say. And it's also crazy to think someone's going to say no. It's like a fucking finding money on the ground. You don't know who that money belongs to. There's no way of getting it back to that person. Get a vaccine if it's going to go bad.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people, like there's some areas now who are doing 50 plus because they don't have maybe as many people who are high risk in their neighborhood, or they don't have as many like long-term care homes, maybe not long-term care, retirement homes. I don't know what it is, but maybe it's less older people. So they're going through them way quicker. We're Scarborough, Toronto. It's a long wait. So yeah. Should we talk about our new venture?
If people think it's a good idea or not, they can smash that comment button.
Okay, so I know we're old, at least like one of us is, but I feel like we all are obsessed with Fortnite. My son's obsessed with Fortnite. The four of us should play Fortnite and just have a YouTube page about Fortnite, put up like a video weekly, and then have artists come on and play with us. Even if they don't know how to play Fortnite, we can just carry them.
I honestly think that if they don't know how to play,
I think that's stumbling onto an actual good idea of like interviewing people through Fortnite.
Yeah. It's so much fun, and you can just talk while you're doing it. And I think the surprise element would be the 5-year-old who will not want to listen to our conversation. And he'll just be ramming us with a car while we're talking to somebody.
Well, like Conan O'Brien does Clueless Gamer, and it gets a shit ton of views because it serves a couple different purposes. Like one, people that like the video game watch it. Two,
did I lose both of you?
You can't hear me?
No.
Check.
Now you're back. You're back. You're both
check,
back.
check.
Okay, it's unstable. It's back now.
Okay.
Go ahead. Conan O'Brien. I heard Conan O'Brien.
So Conan O'Brien gets a ton of views on Clueless Gamer, this bit that he does where he plays a video game, and it's funny because he doesn't know how to play video games. And the bit is always good. You get the viewers from the people that want to watch the gameplay of it, and then obviously the people that just find Conan funny. So you're appeasing Fortnite people that find us maybe funny. And then if we get an artist as well, you can actually, I find when you're playing shit like that, you're more honest. Like Carlin and I will have a conversation and talk about really nothing or the same thing over and over again. When we're playing Fortnite, I feel like we're talking more about our lives than we normally are.
It's almost forced too, right?
Yeah.
Because you're just like, if you're just walking somewhere and it takes a while to get there, you just kind of like, hey, what's going on? Nothing.
You have to
talk to each
like
other.
Small talk.
Yeah. And it's a 15-minute, like full 15 minutes of solid conversation amongst screams. And, I think it's a fantastic idea. I just need to know how to do it.
How long is the longest Fortnite game? Is it only 15 minutes per game till the circle gets so small that you win?
I mean, there's no time limit. You just have to get rid of 100 people. So it can take forever.
Yeah, I think it probably averages around to be 15 minutes because the games that we played, I can only do 15-minute chunks in order to save the video. And nothing was really nothing. I wasn't really missing anything. I missed a couple things from the start of the last time that we played, but that's just us dropping in. I think it probably hovers around 15 minutes per game.
I think we could also rotate out each of us for someone different to come in. If we have an artist to come in, I still like the element of, I love how we're hashing this out on your podcast. I still like the element of Bo because that brings in young people, because young people love to hear other kids play Fortnite. They love it. That's what Bo does, is he watches other kids play Fortnite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we figured it out then.
What
Hey
would the
Josie,
name be?
here's an
I
actual.
don't know.
Oh God,
I
I have
was thinking,
such
like,
a big
Party
delay in this.
Up.
It's like actual 5 seconds.
Go ahead, Carlin. You were going to ask a question.
This is actually like a 5-second delay. I was gonna steer it from Fortnite. If you guys want to keep talking about Fortnite, we can. But I was gonna ask, since you were, is it going? Am I talking?
Yeah. I'm waiting for this professional
Okay.
question. Go ahead.
This is not a professional question. You don't have to frame it like that every time I ask you a question. I'm asking about your radio. So you've worked in radio for a very long time with very many different people and a few different radio stations. How do you compare the experience you have with working at Indie88 and with the team that you work with now compared to other ones? Do you like it more? Is it in the middle, or is it just whatever?
And
It's
honesty is
just
key.
whatever. It's just whatever. It's taxing on me. I'm fucking over it. Yeah, I cannot handle going to work every day, getting people, I don't know. What is kind of a question is that? You want me to you want me to talk? What do you want? What kind of answer would you like from this, Carlin?
I want you to answer very honestly, because no one watches this podcast anyway, and it's nice to have honesty in a podcast, and that's why I listen to podcasts
I
where
love
people can
our
talk
show.
off the record.
I love our show. I do. I love our show. I think that it's so much fun. We have so much fun. I've only ever done, well, I've been a producer on a morning show before in like a long time ago when I was first starting out, and that was with Steve Anthony and Carla Collins, and I had so much fun on that. That was so much fun, but I was young, so it's a bit different. And then I was on a morning show on The Edge when I was in The Edge. That didn't quite work out, so. You know, that's no fun.
Was that with Dominic Diamond?
Yeah.
I remember hearing that and being like, I don't feel like they have chemistry.
These guys don't like each other.
I was like, I mean, nothing personal or anything like that. Like, I have no idea how you feel about him as an actual person. And I know nothing about the guy. God bless him. I'm sure he's great. I was just listening to that show and being like, this is manufactured by someone else that wasn't them. These two people were just placed together.
Yeah, we were definitely placed together, and we definitely both knew that it wasn't two of us. It was Greg as well, Beharrell, who I love, such a great guy. Yeah, remember Greg on there too? Yeah, Greg was amazing. He's out like in LA now doing.
He's technically on our station.
He's on Indie actually.
Yeah, he is.
So cool. He's on Indie, and that guy is a genius. So there was parts of the show that were fantastic, but parts that didn't work out, and no fault of anyone's. And so obviously
This is the most diplomatic
Fuck off.
answer.
I know. We went from honest to.
What do you want me to do here?
Yeah,
What
we
the
went
hell
from
do you want me
honest
to
to
say?
I'm not.
Well, you want me to like sit here and
Yeah.
bash people? There's no way I'm
You don't
doing
have to
it.
bash people, but you
No,
could just
I
be
don't want
like,
you to
here's
bash
why
people.
it didn't work out.
You don't.
It didn't. You
Yeah,
want me
you
to
don't
give
have to be
it
a
why?
politician
You
here.
want me to talk about why it didn't work out? Oh God, honestly, there's a million reasons. Like honestly, really, everything. There's a million reasons it didn't work out. One, I don't know if
Josie's worrying about her career in the future
Yeah,
in case someone
yeah.
hears this, which they won't.
I'm not.
You never
I'm
know if
not.
this pod goes virus.
Listen, there's a few different reasons. I will say one is I had a kid in the hospital at the time, so I was not in the right mind frame.
Yeah.
I will put that on me. I had a lot going on, like a
Mhm.
lot. I was not in the right mind frame to do a morning show. I'll say that. Number two is I probably just didn't love the morning show. I didn't. So when you don't love a morning show, it's hard to make other people love it. So I kind of knew immediately this wasn't the thing that I wanted to do. I didn't want to die with that show, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of like,
Yeah.
I think, I kind of backed out on it. And when something like that happens, it's really hard to have this like fun laughter that the three of us are having right now, because there's a lot at stake. Like this is a major morning show in Toronto, and there's a lot, and everyone knows if this ends, like your career is basically dead. And that's kind of what I kept on thinking. And I think they thought that too. And that's a lot of pressure. So there's nothing
That's too
great
much-
that can come
yeah.
from that,
That's too much pressure to put on yourself, though.
Yeah.
Like, there's
it
not
was
going to be a
hell.
morning show that's ever good if you put that pressure. You have to just throw caution to the wind and say, who cares if this works? Who cares if it doesn't?
We
I'm
also
excited
came
for
on
stuff.
after Dean Blundell. Tell me, nobody wants to be the morning show after a successful morning show.
Yeah,
You
and
want,
especially
like,
one where all the
3 failed
listeners were
Can't
like,
be.
"Where did he go? Where did he
Yeah,
go? Where did
yeah.
he go?"
It's almost like no matter what, when someone who is incredibly great at their job, like then there's so many in the city, you know, like Marilyn Dennis or Derringer or whatever. There's so many great icons in Toronto. You never want to be the morning show to go on right after them. You want 1 or 2 shows in between, and then you can do your show.
You
And
spend
I've
the
learned
first
that.
year just trying to win people over, not even getting
Yeah.
them to like you, but just being comfortable with the idea that you fucking exist.
Yeah. So it was like the whole thing was it was just a bad, I don't blame anyone. I think it was just a bad scenario. I was probably incredibly vulnerable because of the state I was in with my home life. And so I think if I were to do that now, I probably would have known on day 2. I would have said, yeah, this isn't working. Let's try something else different. But I kept it going for 6 months and then
And
I
like,
was done.
Yeah.
in any job, if you're happy, you're going to do a better job at it. Like I remember a couple of years ago when I was doing, I think I was splitting evenings and weekends. Carlin and I were kind of like a hybrid of the same position.
Yeah.
Like we each took half. And then they flipped Carlin to all evenings, and I was the producer for Raina and Matt in the morning. And
Yeah.
I was like, cool. So I'm in the room running the board for them. They're like, no, you're just going to make them all your funniest prod pieces, get no credit for it, and like lose 3 on air shifts a week. And I was like, I can't even explain to you how
I get that.
upsetting that is as a young broadcaster to lose 3 on air shifts.
Yeah, I totally understand. And a lot of people.
It's funny because. Oh, I was just gonna say it's funny because there's so many bosses, so many PDs, and it's not even that they're old school, but they don't realize how you have to manage a millennial. Sorry, you are a millennial,
Yeah.
but you can't tell millennials to like eat shit and tell you it tastes good. Like you're not gonna sit there and go, oh, well, I'm happy to be a producer. You're gonna be like, I want all the credit for this, and I want people to respect me.
Especially as a young rising broadcaster. Like I was just starting to make a name for myself in the city. Like no one fucking knew who I was. And not like anyone does now, but
Yes, they do.
but it was just one of those things where I was like, I know that I have this niche thing where I'm good at bits specifically. And for you to just take them and give them to 2 other people with no credit, and I don't even get to be in the room for it. Like, how am I excited about that? Also,
You know what?
you're in the digital
It would
department for
never
2
work.
days. Like I couldn't stand my job then.
You know what? That's just the thing about managers is that their role, I think it's underrated, like what they have to do. And so many of them have come through in the career, like in my career, I've seen so many managers sweep in, take out half the staff, on-air staff, because it wasn't quite working, and then start again with something new. And I saw that happen every year. And I worked at The Edge for 16 years. And I saw incredible talent who was probably just put in the wrong spot because the manager at the time thought that's where they were supposed to go. And I saw all these incredible people lose their jobs. And then like, it's weird how radio, you're allowed to do that in radio. And I understand it's a performance-based art. Like I get that. So, you know, should go on ratings or whatever, but I just think it's so disheartening to see how much great talent has been lost. You think of like from when I can name on my hand 10 people, like just like that, incredible talents, from Martin Streak to Barry Taylor to Andy Frost to, like, honestly, there's just so many, to Brother Bill, to fuck no, I can't name 10, I swear to God, to Jason Barr, to like all these. I really can't. No, honestly, I could. I just have to think about it just a little bit harder. But all these people who have lost jobs, to Mel, who works with us, to Adam, to Fred, to Dean, to, there's so many who've lost jobs. And if they had the right manager, and I'm sure some of them did some things that they shouldn't have done, but if they had the right manager managing them, they would still have a job.
Yeah. When you're put in the wrong position, you can't succeed.
Or if you're given the wrong direction, or if you're told something that, like, you need really strong managers. And our Toronto radio market could be, I'm sorry, I swear it's too much, but could be amazing. But it's not, because I think people sweep in, they get rid of everyone, and then they try with new people. Let's try with new people. Let's try. There's something to be said about experience. I'm just saying, there's something is.
It is. It is something you have to think, or it's something you do think about every time a new PD comes into a radio station you're working at. Is are they gonna like you? And if they don't like you, are you gonna lose your job? And I'll give Indy some credit with that, because we've had, how many PDs have we had? 3 different PDs. It's been pretty steady, but no one's come in and made you feel like you don't belong there at all.
Yeah, they're really, really good at that. They are wonderful at that because, that's the thing. It's like every PD who comes in, it's like they need to make their mark.
Yeah.
And by making their mark, they fire someone and bring in their people. In radio, it's all about comfort. It really is. It's like you get to know a personality. They become like that part of your family, and people get comfortable listening to those people on the radio. And then you just take them away. You don't tell people why. You just take them away. It's it sucks. Like really sucks.
One thing I will forever say that Central Ontario Broadcasting, like the bigger like the company that owns Indie88 and 2 other stations in Barrie, is they allowed me the opportunity to grow in Toronto, which not a lot of people would. Not a lot of people are handing over the keys to the radio station to like a 22-year-old and being like, we're going to give you evening shifts and weekend shifts in a major market to learn who you are and what your voice is. And they were pretty patient with me, because I go back and listen to my demos and I was like, Jesus Christ.
Oh my God. I can't believe I got hired on at Indie88 when I did. I was 23 years old when Adam hired me on Indie88, and I was awful. And something that's also difficult is to my point of my career up to that point, I was 23. I had worked for 3.5 years in small markets on morning shows too with another person. So I was coming to do a solo show, and I would remember being very uncomfortable for a few months, even just doing a solo show without a co-host.
Yeah. And they give you that opportunity to grow, right? That's the thing. They gave you the opportunity. And so I don't know who's in charge, but something needs to change. I've said that. You just look at my old station. I've said that a million times. It's like they keep fighting. They should have to write a list of how many people have been fired from one place. And they should be like, is that fair? Did you have to fire all of those people? Sometimes you have to fire people. I understand. That's fucking business. I get it. Sometimes you should fire people and you're not firing someone. I get that. But in most cases, it's like, there shouldn't be 100 broadcasters fired in 5 years. Shouldn't. That's all.
Yeah. It's people's livelihood at the end of the day, which is difficult.
I remember hearing Carlin's demo though. Like I remember going in for a meeting with our old program director, Adam, it was kind of more of an informational meeting. I was hoping it was going to be more. And he showed me Carlin's demo, I think. And he was like, this is one of the people we hired. And I was fucking mad because one, Carlin was good. Like his demo made me laugh. And, I think that's hard to do. Not like make me specifically laugh, but I think make somebody laugh with a radio bit in general is just tough.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I was like, you said like, I was too young. I didn't have enough experience. Like this guy's just as young as me. Little did I know he has 3 years experience, like more than me. And he's been doing morning shows, and I had been doing weekends at Cool FM in Barrie for like 6 months.
Well, it's also super competitive, right? This whole industry is so freaking competitive.
Yeah.
Because I think we all know that we each could get fired and then we could sweep in and take each other's jobs. That's the part that sucks. Like I don't know. I still love it though. Still love it, but I love the chase, but
it comes with the territory. I feel like I have a little more job security working at a place like Central Ontario Broadcasting, just because maybe it's being naive, but the owner, you have a relationship with the owner, and also the general manager is Megan and whatnot.
Are you going to tag Megan in this podcast or?
No, I'm not.
And I just wanted to say thank you, Bingley's.
I would be embarrassed.
Because you should.
I'd be embarrassed if they're listening. But to get to this point, I think, like when I listen back to my old tapes from 2013 when we launched and whatnot, I think that they hired me because I'm the only person that would accept like moving to Toronto and working at a startup.
No money.
It's like, funny.
I don't know why they hired me.
I remember listening to you. Do you want to hear this story? I remember I actually have it.
How long ago was it?
It was I was it was probably like 2015, I guess. I don't know. Were you at Indie then? Yeah.
Yeah, I started in 2013. And be really honest with the story too, because if I was really bad, I want to hear about it.
I'm not as honest as you are with O Canada. I'm not that person. I can't be that person. But no, it wasn't really bad. I remember that wasn't bad, Carlin. I remember though.
That's bull.
I just, when you can picture where you are when you hear someone on the radio. I don't know if other people feel the same way. I remember the intersection I was at, like I completely, and it was Kingston Road and where Dundas and Kingston meet. And it was that weird stop. And I was at a stoplight there and Carlin was on the radio. And I remember thinking, do I like him or do I not like him? That's all. I at the time, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure how I felt. So I kept listening. I remember you came up with really great comebacks when people were talking. I remember that. And I was like,
Carlin was like king of the phoner to me. It was like how he was able to take a phone topic that had been done 1,000 times, but flip it around in the dumbest fucking question you've ever heard, but he flipped it into something in a way you've never heard it before. And I was like, oh, this is making me so jealous.
And this is critical, right? Radio people are really critical of other radio people. Like it's very rare where like that person's amazing.
Yeah,
and we have a few of them, but we're very critical. So I was thinking in a critical way. I was like, is this entertaining? Because it's hard to tell.
Well, I will say this.
Yeah. Go ahead, Carlin.
When I go back to 2015 and listen to anything I do from there, I do not like myself. And I still don't really love listening to myself, but everyone's kind of like that.
Yeah, everyone's like that.
I can get really sick of my voice real quick.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Samesies.
Well, this was fun, guys.
So yeah, you didn't have to be so nice. Oh, Josie's wrapping it up. Okay. I guess this is Josie's podcast.
I gotta get my vaccine. I gotta get my vaccine.
Josie's got to go. I got Miss Busy doesn't have time for us, the little guys.
I just gotta get my precious vaccine.
Am I gonna let my vaccine just hang out there and just wait for me, or am I gonna miss my? No, I don't think so. I gotta.
Josie, if you don't get it, there's a chance Michael Darren calls me and I get it.
Right? Good. Maybe.
Josie,
actually,
we know what time your vaccine appointment is at.
Okay, but there's things I have to do before I get my vaccine.
Right now.
I have to go on the Peloton quickly. I have to get my lunch, and then I have to go and get my vaccine.
she couldn't push the Peloton for us. Okay,
you don't want us on the ride with you.
You're not allowed to. You're not allowed to give yourself a shout out for your own podcast anymore. We're not doing anything.
She's done it 3 times.
Anyway. Special needs. It's so emotional. No. Thanks for reminding me, Carlin. It'll make you laugh and it'll make you cry, and it's personal. And if you like to watch like Hallmark movies, go check out Love and Special Needs by Josie Dye.
No one that listens to this podcast watches Hallmark movies.
I do. Oh my God, I'm sweating. You guys made me sweat.